In this series, I'm going to be looking at legendary boxers' greatest ever performances, and in episode 3, I'm going to be covering Mike Tyson. Mike was scintillating in his prime and had so many great performances in his early 20s. You could go with the crowning moment in his career when he won the world title at 20 years old against Trevor Berbick, or when he scored a brutal knockout against the legendary Larry Holmes. But I've decided to go for his one-round demolition of Michael Spinks. Spinks was one of the greatest light heavyweights of all time, who had since moved up to heavyweight and defeated Larry Holmes twice, taking this undefeated record, and had also beaten Jerry Cooney. And going into the fight with Mike, he held a version of the heavyweight world title. Everything about this fight on Mike's behalf is just pure intimidation. From walking into the ring bare-chested to the sound of clanging chains, and menacingly pacing back and forth across the ring with one thing in mind, to destroy Mike Spinks. Mike had looked untouchable going into the fight, with a perfect record of 34-0 with 30 knockouts. And you can see from the body language, similarly to most of Mike's opponents, Spinks was intimidated going into this one. And Tyson pushed the action early, coming out swinging from the bell, landing haymakers. From the get-go, Spinks was on the back foot, and every time he threw, Mike countered viciously. In order to not get caught against the ropes, Spinks attempted side-to-side movement, but Mike was a master at stalking his opponents and would throw explosive combinations to get up close. Under severe pressure, Spinks backed up to the ropes, and Mike landed a nasty combination to body and head that just missed. But he followed it up with a brutal left uppercut and a clean right hand to the body that dropped Spinks. After climbing to his feet, just 91 seconds into the fight, Tyson calmly walked over and ended proceedings with a brutal right hand. Spinks was down on the canvas and his eyes were rolled into the back of his head. He attempted to get up, but his body just wouldn't allow him to do it, and Mike Tyson improved his record to 35-0 with 31 knockouts. Spinks would never fight again, but I do think unfortunately this fight overshadows his wonderful career. He truly was one of the greatest light heavyweights of all time, who moved up and faced killers at heavyweight. And for me, this is the greatest performance of Mike Tyson's career, absolutely destroying one of the all-time greats in 91 seconds. And even though Spinks had moved up from light heavyweight, he had already tested himself against the top heavyweights at the time and come through.